let's go ahead and get started. So thank you for making time to join us today. One of the main challenges of a technology service provider is keeping up with the ever-changing landscape of the industry. Initially, many of our customers started as providers of just telephone services. Then over time, with the introduction of new communications technologies, it became necessary for them to offer emerging services. First, it was necessary to provide internet services. Whether it was dial-up, ISDN, DSL, or fiber, our customers needed to evolve with the times. Then it was IPTV. Even though IPTV has never been a profit center, it was a necessary service to bundle to remain competitive. Now it is managed internet experience within the property. No longer is it possible to distinguish between internet service and wireless service. Our customers will always perceive it as a failure of the internet, not a failure of the wireless devices. Thankfully, managed internet experience at least has the potential of reducing support calls and adding another profit center. Now, you've heard me mention profit center a couple of times. Profit centers are very important and are a major driving force for our customers. Like technologies, the profit centers or profit opportunities of our customers have been changing throughout the years. Many of these changes were unexpected. The massive reduction of home telephone service market is just one example. Long distance and metered interstate long distance revenues all but disappearing. The introduction of dozens of technologies that eliminated the need for international long distance services. These were all substantial blows to the revenue generation potential of our telephone customers. Granted, many of these changes were unexpected, but in retrospect, these changes were inevitable. Since these changes were unexpected and inevitable at the same time, it was critical for our customers to react quickly. As more and more competitors joined their markets, it was vital to make quick additions and adjustments to the technologies being used to maintain a competitive edge. Remaining reactive to the ever-changing technologies has its own challenges though. Not only do you have to adapt to the changes in technology, but you also have to predict the unique needs of the customer base. Each customer base will have some unique requirements that only a local can predict. There is no single formula for the perfect broadband fix-all for all customers. The solutions often have to be as diverse as our customers and their technological environments. Quick adoption of emerging technologies, keeping an eye out for better solutions, and constantly reevaluating the existing systems is vital. Being able to change with the times is of paramount importance, and those changes are coming quicker and quicker every year. Here is a brief timeline of the evolution of broadband in the United States. In the 30-year timeline above, we only had about 3 relevant new technologies during the first 15 years, from dial-up to ADSL. Then we had 4 new technologies during the next 10 years, from ADSL to VDSL2 to fiber. And now 3 new technologies in just the past 5 years, bringing us to VDSL2 bonded, 10 gig fiber, and G.fast. So we went from 3 technologies over 15 years to 4 technologies over 10 years, and now we have 3 over the last 5 years. At this rate, we're going to start experiencing new technologies almost annually in the next 10 years. Technological changes, it's inevitable. That has been established over the past 3 decades. Being able to change with the technology is the only path to continued success for our telephone providers. How to stay successful? Well, first, you have to keep your options open. Don't get bogged down into a technological corner. Keep your options open so that you can make the necessary adjustments to meet the ever-changing landscape of your customers' needs. Getting specialized products from specialized vendors is important. Nobody would ever suggest that you get barbecue from a seafood restaurant or seafood from a barbecue restaurant. In the same fashion, you don't want to get your hardware from a software company, and you don't want to get your software from a hardware company. They are 2 very different industries, and being excellent in both simultaneously is almost impossible. Also, if you get your hardware from a hardware company, it is important to avoid proprietary or closed systems when possible. A closed proprietary system often will fall behind the ever-changing tides of technology. So if you choose a closed system, you're gambling that the closed system is going to meet your unique needs both now and in the future. More often than not, A closed system will develop a one-size-fits-most solution, and then will start to downplay the loose fit of their solution. Interoperability is essential to get that perfect fit of technology and application, especially since the application is going to be as unique as our customer base. Here you can see a simplified circle of the hardware for an ISP customer: DSLAMs, ACS, gateway, in-network expansion hardware. You can see many of the major vendors within each component. Also, each vendor is an expert in their category. I think we can all agree that Adtran is going to be your best choice for a DSLAM in the US. But the other categories are not as simple. There are many options when it comes to ACS, gateways, and network devices. ACS includes FinePoint, Xeros, Incognito, and a few others that I'm not really familiar with. Gateway manufacturers are most plentiful with Comtrend, D-Link, SmartRG, Zycel, just to name a few. Inside hardware vendors includes just about everybody: Amped Wireless, Comtrend, D-Link, TP-Link, Ubiquiti, Zycel, and the list just goes on for days. It is a challenge to find the perfect fit between so many vendors to be interoperable and to provide a perfect solution for the application. So to summarize, things to avoid. Don't get bogged down and gamble on a closed solution. You need to keep your options open to remain quick and react to the technological and market forces. Avoid hardware from a software company and avoid software from hardware companies. Focus on specialized hardware from specialized vendors. Solutions requiring proprietary certifications can limit your choices in the future. Although we didn't talk about it, you should also try to avoid long contracts. The quick to react survive in our industry. The slow often get left behind. Now that we've covered what you should consider doing, now let's talk about how Comtrend fits into the solution. Comtrend is a hardware manufacturer. We have over 25 years in the industry, over 27 million devices deployed globally, and provide hardware to over 450 service providers across the United States. Comtrend is not only a hardware company, we are hardware experts. As hardware experts, I'd like you to take the opportunity to talk about the hardware that we have developed for our service provider customers. The WR6895 is a specialized, purpose-built residential gateway for service providers, combining Broadcom's most advanced broadband chipset, the BCM63138, and Quantenna's cutting-edge Wave 2 wireless. This is Comtrend's most advanced residential gateway available today. Boasting a dual-core 1 GHz processor, 4x4 Quantenna 5 GHz performance, TR69 remote management, and dual 400 milliwatt wireless radios. It makes this the ideal gateway for even large residential applications. All gigabit ports, AC2050 wireless performance makes the WR6895 a perfect match for any fiber or high-speed deployment. For those who are not familiar with Quantenna or Broadcom's BCM63138 chipset, here's a brief overview. The Quantenna solution is a purpose-built chipset designed specifically for high-bandwidth video and IPTV wireless applications. 4x4 multi-user MIMO, dynamic digital beamforming, and a new zero-tolerance packet air rate makes the Quantenna wireless fast and stable enough for the most demanding video applications. Broadcom's BCM63138 broadband chipset is an ultra-high-performance dual-core gigahertz processor, providing enough processing power for all of your bandwidth routing needs. Now back to the hardware. So the WR6895 is a high-performance, high-powered residential gigabit Ethernet gateway designed specifically to be paired with a fiber ONT modem or other high-speed broadband Ethernet application. Again, AC2050 wireless, performance across dual-band 400 milliwatt radios, all gigabit Ethernet ports, TR69 support, and Wi-Fi Xtend enabled. I will cover Wi-Fi Xtend a little bit later. If you're looking for an XDSL residential gateway, Comtrend still has you covered. The NL3120 is a purpose-built ADSL VDSL2 bonded residential gateway, including all of the same features and capabilities and functions of the WR6895, but with the addition of bonded ADSL VDSL2 connectivity, a superior residential gateway for your DSL applications. If your customers are also in the market for a residential gateway that supports VoIP ports, Comtrend still has it covered. The NL3240 is basically an NL3120 with the addition of 2 voice FXS ports. All ports are gigabit, bonded DSL, and the voice ports. So the overall solution is becoming a little clearer. Adtran for your DSLAMs, Comtrend for your residential gateway hardware, but that still leaves ACS and inside the network. The answer to the ACS question is FinePoint. I know there are other ACS solutions on the market. We have listed many of them already. One of the many compelling characteristics of FinePoint's ACS solution is that it is product agnostic. That means it is compatible with any vendor's hardware. So long as the vendor's hardware conforms to the TR69 standard, you will be able to manage it with FinePoint's ACS solution. Additionally, FinePoint's Mountain View ACS solution allows for a very detailed granular data collection from the remote TR69 devices. No longer is the ACS system limited to simply updating firmware and configuring basic device parameters. FinePoint will allow you to monitor not only bandwidth usage to the gateway, but how many devices are connected to a specific wireless access point. Real-time performance metering from the gateway to the internet, the gateway to the connected wireless device, or even the wireless access point connected to the wireless devices directly. The interference tool will allow you to remotely determine what is the interference pattern within the property. The signal strength tool will allow you to diagnose if a connection issue is related to the signal strength, channel interference, or simply a range issue. Statistics logging and analytics provides for an unprecedented level of situational awareness that will allow the service provider to not only provide the best possible wireless experience, but also plan for future upgrades in both the broadband network and within the local network environment of the customer. This level of excellence is possible because FinePoint is a software developer and they're experts at it. Again, going back to the logic, get your software from software companies. It's often the best choice. So with FinePoint as the ACS solution, we are almost all the way to a clear, complete solution. Now we just need to cover the expansion hardware inside the local network. Now, you know we've covered that the Comtrend has you covered when it comes to your residential gateway. But did you know that we also have a complete product catalog for inside the local network? One of our featured products is the G.hn Powerline Adapter. I know many of you have memories of when Powerline adapters were first introduced and that they had a very poor performance track record. I am pleased to say that this has all changed with the introduction of the G.hn technology. Not only are sustained speeds in excess of 450 megabits possible, additionally, you can have stable performance connections across a noisy electrical grid or even jump phases and electrical panels. G.hn can deal with that type of interference. So if you have not experienced the stability and performance that is offered by G.hn, you have to give the PG9172 a test drive. The easiest way to establish a wired connection between 2 gigabit Ethernet devices, it's easy and it's secured. Comtrend's power grid line does not stop with just a gigabit Ethernet bridge. It also includes wireless N and wireless AC access points. Not a wireless to wireless repeater, but an actual wired connection for the backhaul. This allows you to deploy additional wireless access points to remote locations that are beyond the wireless to wireless reach of a traditional wireless extender. And finally, we have a PoE power line adapter as well for your Ethernet connections that require a PoE power. This connection is suitable for your 802.11af PoE IP telephones, IP surveillance cameras, or any other 802.11af PoE enabled device. Now, G.hn is not only limited to power line adapters. If your customer has unused coax available, they can leverage this media to establish a high-speed Ethernet connection. The unused coax provides a clean 450 megabit connection. If you need range, the GCA 6000 can establish a data connection at a range of up to 1,500 meters. So if you have unused coax and need to establish a connection between 2 Ethernet devices, the GCA 6000 might be a good solution. Now, if there is no pre-existing copper cable for us to leverage and running a dedicated Cat6 cable is not an option, we still have the flexibility of utilizing a high-powered 5 gigahertz wireless bridge. Comtrend's WAP5940 wireless video bridge utilizes the same Quantenna 4x4 multi-user MIMO technology as the Comtrend gateways. All the same benefits: dynamic beamforming, 4x4 multi-user MIMO, 400 milliwatts high-powered radio, and a video-grade zero-latency wireless performance. A perfect device to pair with your Quantenna-enabled Comtrend gateway. If you're looking to populate your local network environment with high performance and high powered wireless access points, Comtrend has a complete product catalog to meet those needs as well. Whether it is wireless N or dual band AC, indoor, outdoor, wall mounted, ceiling mounted, internal antennas, or external antennas, we have something for every occasion. PoE power options make powering the wireless access points easy. Wi-Fi Xtend allows for your customers to have a single SSID and password for the entire local network without having each unit manually configured. The remote access point will receive configuration information from the Wi-Fi Xtend enabled gateway. You can choose to have the wireless access point manually configured by the gateway, or integrate the wireless access points with your TR69 ACS system. Flexible configuration choices to fit the dynamic needs of our customers. So now we have a complete solution path. Add trend for your DSLAMs, fine point for your ACS needs, and Comtrend to meet the hardware needs. 3 companies that are all experts in their product categories. You've heard me mention Wi-Fi Xtend a few times, so I'd like to take time to review this technology now. Wi-Fi Xtend is a feature that was developed at the request of an ISP. The ISP wanted to have an easy way for the local wireless network to have the same SSID and password across multiple access point devices. Easy enough to be part of a self-installation kit. In response, Comtrend developed the Wi-Fi Xtend feature. This feature allows a Wi-Fi Xtend enabled gateway to provide wireless network configuration data to a Wi-Fi Xtend enabled wireless access point. This is done automatically and seamlessly. So if you have 1 access point or 5 wireless access points, the SSID and password will always match the gateway. If the gateway parameters are changed, those changes are passed down to the wireless access points in just a few seconds. Here's how it works. In this example, we're going to have a Comtrend WR6895 dual band wireless gateway and a Comtrend WAP EN1200C ceiling mounted wireless access point. For this example, the gateway and the wireless access points are connected by an Ethernet cable. You can see that the SSID for the gateway does not match the default settings of the wireless access point. The wireless access point has the default settings across all of it, as that is how it comes right out of the box. As with all network devices, the wireless access point is going to try to obtain an IP address from the network's DHCP server. In this example, the gateway has provided the IP address of .15 to the access point. As soon as the wireless access point gets the IP address, it will put out a call requesting Wi-Fi configuration data. As soon as the Wi-Fi Xtend gateway gets the request for Wi-Fi configuration data, it will respond with a primary SSID and password for the gateway. Now you have a wireless network that has a synchronized SSID and password across the gateway and all wireless access points throughout the local network. If you connect a new device, those new devices will simply join the network, sync up with the others. Super easy, super reliable. This also allows you to control the gateway via ACS and have those SSID and passwords changes propagate to the other wireless access devices simultaneously and automatically. So, in recap, successful ISPs will adapt to change, predict customer needs quickly, and adopt technologies. Always look for something better and constantly reevaluate their existing systems. You have to keep your options open if you're going to do any of this correctly. What is the point of predicting needs and looking for better solutions if you're locked into a closed system? Also, why bother reevaluating your existing systems if change is not an option or that option is just too painful? Things to avoid: closed solutions, hardware from software guys, software from hardware guys, and solutions that require certifications or long contracts. And that generally concludes my presentation.